Sleep. It is the most natural, peaceful thing in the world. We spend 1/3 of our entire lives doing it. But what if you just stopped? What if you decided to stay awake not just for a day or two, but for an entire month? The official world record for a human staying awake is 11 days. But what happens if you push the human body past its absolute breaking point, all the way to 30 days? This isn't just a story about being tired. This is a terrifying journey into madness, hallucinations, and the ultimate destruction of the human brain. Let's explore the dark biological timeline of 30 days without sleep. Days 1 to 3. At first, you might feel surprisingly okay. After 24 hours, your brain actually releases a surge of dopamine to compensate for the lack of sleep. You might feel energetic, overly happy, or even hyperactive. But this is a trap. By hour 48, the dopamine crashes hard. Your reaction time drops to the level of someone who is legally drunk. Your body stops metabolizing glucose properly, meaning you feel constantly hungry and freezing cold. By day 3, your brain is desperate. It starts forcing you into micro-sleeps. These are terrifying moments where your brain literally shuts down and falls asleep for 3 to 10 seconds while your eyes are still wide open. You could be walking, talking, or driving, and your brain just unplugs from reality without you even noticing. Days 4 to 7. This is where the physical exhaustion turns into severe psychological horror. Sleep is the time when your brain clears out toxic proteins that build up during the day. Without sleep, these toxins flood your nervous system. By day 5, you enter a state of psychosis. Your brain can no longer tell the difference between dreams and reality, so it starts dreaming while you are awake. You will start experiencing intense visual and auditory hallucinations. You will hear people whispering your name from empty rooms. You will see dark, shadowy figures standing in the corners of your vision. The walls will look like they are breathing or melting. Paranoia sets in. You will become absolutely convinced that your friends, your family, or even the government are trying to kill you. You will lose the ability to form logical sentences, speaking in a confused, broken language that nobody understands. Your mind is officially breaking apart. Before we look at what happens to your physical body after a week, we have to talk about the dark history of sleep deprivation. Have you ever heard of the Russian sleep experiment? The internet legend claims that in the 1940s, Soviet scientists locked 5 prisoners in a gas chamber and kept them awake for 15 days. The story says that by day 9, they started screaming, and by day 15, they were literally eating their own flesh. While that specific story is a famous internet myth, the reality of forced sleep deprivation is actually much darker. During the Cold War, intelligence agencies around the world realized that sleep deprivation was the ultimate psychological weapon. It leaves no physical scars, but it completely breaks the human mind. If you keep a prisoner awake for just 5 days, their brain enters a state of waking psychosis. They become so desperate for sleep that they will confess to crimes they never committed, just to close their eyes for 5 minutes. But what about voluntary sleep deprivation? The longest officially recorded time a human has ever stayed awake was in 1964. A 17-year-old boy named Randy Gardner decided to stay awake for a school science project. He lasted exactly 11 days and 25 minutes. By day 3, he lost the ability to repeat simple words. By day 5, he was hallucinating that street signs were people. By day 10, he became severely paranoid, believing his own friends were plotting against him. He survived, but the Guinness Book of World Records immediately banned anyone from ever trying to break his record again, declaring it a lethal danger to the human body. Randy stopped at 11 days. But scientists actually tested the absolute limit of sleep deprivation in the 1980s. They didn't use humans. They used lab rats. They placed the rats on a moving platform over a pool of water. Every time the rat's brain waves showed it was falling asleep, the platform would move, forcing the rat to wake up or fall in the water. The results were horrifying. Without sleep, the rats' immune systems completely collapsed. Their fur fell out, Their body temperature dropped, and their internal organs began to fail. Every single rat died between day 11 and day 32. The cause of death wasn't starvation or stress. It was the pure biological lack of sleep. So, what happens to a human body if you are forced to keep going past week 1? Days 8 to 14. If you somehow survive the psychological torture, your physical body begins to shut down. Your immune system completely collapses. A simple scratch or a common cold could easily become a deadly infection. Your body temperature drops dangerously low and you will shiver uncontrollably even in a warm room. Your muscles will begin to waste away because your body is consuming its own protein to stay alive. Your eyes will become bloodshot, sunken deep into your skull, and your skin will turn a pale, sickly gray. The hallucinations are no longer just shadows. They are your permanent reality. You are trapped in a waking nightmare, unable to communicate, unable to focus, and unable to escape the terrifying images your dying brain is projecting in front of you. You are a ghost trapped inside a living body, days 15 to 30. No human has ever voluntarily stayed awake this long. But we know exactly what happens because of a rare, terrifying genetic disease called Fatal Familial Insomnia. In this disease, a genetic mutation destroys the part of the brain that controls sleep. Patients literally lose the ability to fall asleep ever again. By day 20, your brain damage is irreversible. The toxins in your brain have destroyed billions of neural pathways. You lose control of your basic motor functions. You cannot walk, you cannot swallow food, and you lose control of your bladder. Your brain forgets how to regulate your heart rate and blood pressure. You will lie in a hospital bed completely paralyzed, but your eyes will remain open, staring blankly at the ceiling. By day 30, the end arrives. Your brain, completely eaten away by toxic proteins and exhausted beyond repair, simply forgets how to keep your organs running. Your heart stops. Your lungs stop. The ultimate price for denying your body its most basic need. Sleep is not a luxury. It is a biological necessity keeping you from losing your mind. How many hours of sleep did you get last night? Let me know in the comments, and make sure to subscribe to LoreVerse for more dark biological mysteries.